to share with you about the power of belief and visualization. And so I have some notes, y'all, just so y'all know why you can't see what you don't believe. That is really the premise of this video. And so if you are a student of metaphysics, like most of the people that generally watch, if not, thank you for subscribing anyway, because there's always something that we can learn and grow. So, hey, beautiful souls, welcome to my channel again. Here, I share practical insights on abundant living, highlighting some of my amazing mentors in metaphysics and offering different perspectives on manifesting abundance and shifting energy through embodiment. All right, so today we're going to be diving into why so many of us struggle to visualize our goals. That is the thing. And it hit me today as I was doing my work. I was doing my journaling and doing my mirror work. It hit me today, and I thought, you know what? So many people can't even create a vision because they don't believe. So we're going to dive into that because that really is the key. The one word, belief. So what we're going to do is we're going to begin to understand what visualization is, because, you know, we hear it talked about. Neville Goddard talks about seeing it. Reverend Ike talks about visualizing it. Abraham Hicks, all of the different thought leaders, some of, I call them my online mentors, have been speaking into my life for a while. And so I am actually at a place where I'm beginning to open up to this and really go deeper into visualizing and creating, conscious creating. And so visualizing is a mental picture. It's a mental practice of picturing your desired outcome. So basically, it's just a practice where you picture in your mind what it is that you desire. And Neville Goddard calls it living in the end. So basically, you picture the end of it, not the journey, the destination, all the shit that happened in the middle and all that stuff, but the end of it. And so when you're doing that, manifestation, change, achieving your goals, and aligning with your higher self are all ways that visualization helps. Hello, how are you? The role of belief. Hello, welcome in. The role of belief. So when you don't believe that something can happen, your mind struggles to create that picture. And that is really the problem with not having belief when you are attempting to visualize. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. When you don't believe that something can happen, your mind struggles to create a clear, compelling image of it. So you can't even picture it. Welcome in. You can't even picture it. You know, it's one of those things where, you know, you are going through the motions trying to create this image of something that you don't even believe can happen or will happen. And so that really is the first thing that we have to do. We have to think about it in this term. Imagine if it was a clear picture, that you were trying to see a clear picture, but you're looking through a foggy window. Or you're looking, thank you so much, you're looking through a foggy window. Or you are in the shower. You know how some showers, mine does. Y'all just moved into my new house. And so the shower has a thing on it where nobody can see in. You can't see out either. But it has this, I don't know what it is, but they put something on it where you can't see out of the shower window, and they can't see in, which is, of course, good. But, what? No, I'm talking about the shower. I was talking about the thing that they put on the shower to keep you from being able to see out and people being able to see in while you're showering. It's a window. And I was kind of using that reference to imagine that you're trying to see out of that. You can't. You can't. So without belief, you know, you're not going to be able to create that vision. It's so difficult. I have tried, y'all. I've tried. You know, because I've stated before on this channel that I was an unbelieving believer for years. Like, I believe in God, and I always have. My grandmother was a pastor, so I was raised in the church. But I realized that I was not really believing, you know. And so when that hit me and I started really on this journey, and I started realizing that, you know, if you don't believe, you can't even create it, because you can't You can't conceive of it in your mind. You can't create the visualization that you need to. You can't do any of that because you don't believe that it's going to happen. You know, even if you've been affirming it, because you know people teach to affirm and do affirmations and all of this stuff. Okay, no problem, Sophia. Affirm and do all these affirmations and all of this stuff. But if you don't believe it, then you might as well just not do any of that stuff. So you want to start using affirmations. They're going to help you. These are some practical tips that are going to help you to grow with this, because this is a thing. You know, this is a thing, and I recognized it in myself, and so that is why I'm sharing it. I started seeing it. I was like, oh, so that's what. Oh, you know, because I realized, like, I have always been creative in my mind. Like, as a child, I think I lived in my head a lot. And I've always been creative because I was an only child for 9 years, and then I was somebody's mother. That's a whole another life. But I was somebody's mother after that. You know, my mother started having more kids, and yeah, they was mine. And so, anyhow, but yeah, so some affirmations. Like I say this, and I say this every day to myself. I believe in my dreams. I believe in the things that I have been dreaming about, that I desire. I believe in them. And I started saying these things. Also journaling. Journaling helps, because that is kind of what got me here. Is I was journaling and I was like, you know what? I need to share this, because I know that there are people out here dealing with the same thing, the same issues. You know, and so it's like I was like, let me start it. So when you journal, don't just, just journal like, like what you did today or yesterday or last night or how you felt. Not that. Do the kind that you start writing down evidence of past successes to remind yourself that change is possible. And that's something that I started doing. Like, I started thinking, remembering, actually consciously remembering that, that I got through this, and so I can get through that. Or I got through that, and so I can get through this. Whatever is happening that feels like a threat to me, and what I realize is a lot of times when I used to do it, I didn't actually believe that it was going to happen. I just was saying it because they told me to say it, and it felt good to say it, but I seen so many things in my life that didn't happen when I was trying to be consciously creating, that it kind of got me numb. So I was like, okay, whatever, that sounds good. Yeah, let's just do it. Let's just do it. It's okay. Let's just do it. But then you realize that no, it's not okay. And it's not even, moving the needle or making anything happen in your life. And so when you realize that and you start to dive into yourself, you start to dive into God, you start to dive into your angels, your particular spirit team, the ones that are right there for you. You start diving in and you start asking the questions, and spirit will give you so many nuances in so many ways. But we have to be open, and we have to begin to be on the lookout to see these things. Because, when you start looking for things, you will find things, right? Good or bad, positive or negative, but you start looking. So when you start looking for the good things and you start seeing the change, maybe when you were, maybe when you were at another place in your life and it just wasn't working out, it just wasn't working out, or you were at another place in your life and it did work out. You started, doing the things, and you started seeing that, yes, change is possible. I don't have to stay in this space. And so then you start meditating and reflecting, taking time to cultivate moments of stillness whenever you can do that, because I know that so many people are so busy and there's so many things going on. I know people have children and stuff that they have to deal with. I am so grateful and so fortunate that I have already passed that stage. I am 56 years old. I am so grateful. I love my children, but I'm so grateful that they live in their own houses, in their own states, and they don't bother their mama. They just love me. So, some things you can practice with this to help you. Some things that you can practice daily to strengthen your beliefs are these meditations and the affirmations and the journaling. Okay, so make sure that you start to really hone into and start looking inside yourself, and really, really start asking yourself, why is it that I don't believe in this vision? Why is it that, I can't seem to create this vision and do this visualization, because I can't create the thing that I know that I said that I wanted or that I have. Because we're speaking in positive tenses. If it's something that you desire, it means that you still want it. So you don't desire it anymore. You just know that you have it, and you know that it is here. And so when you truly believe in your vision, mental images become vibrant and clear. Quickly, they start guiding you toward your desired outcome, that living in the end. Have you ever noticed that when you believe in something wholeheartedly, you can almost see it come into life? That's because you believe in it. That was the key word. Believe that this thing can happen for you. Because when I started believing and started thinking about, how I didn't really believe that things could happen for me. Like I've read the Bible many, many times. I still read the Bible. But when I read the Bible and I started seeing how there were so many things that happened for so many people in the Bible that were believing, and then I saw that there were so many things happening in the Bible for people that weren't really believing, in the typical sense of that word that we use today. But when you realize that belief is really the cornerstone of effective visualization, it really is the thing that's going to move the needle. Believe. So if you're here and you're listening, I love to speak to you. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. And then also, if you have any tips that you use that help you to be able to create that belief so that you can visualize and affirm and all those things, share them here in the comments. I would love to know, especially those that are catching the replay. I would love to know. So share that in the comments. And again, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Also, make sure that you check out the description of the video where I have my Amazon links. I am an affiliate, so I do get a small commission. So I would love it if you would drop in there and check out some of those Amazon finds. I have some that I use all the time. I have so many things in there that I use all the time. So make sure that you check out some of those, and also my stand store where I have lots of free and paid resources. And I would love it if you would rejoin me in my membership. Remember who you are. So that is also on the stand store. I would love if you would check that out and come and join. Let's do this thing. Let's grow together. Let's be in a community of love, of peace, of patience, where people are there just like you, in this space of learning how to cultivate and love on God, learning how to open up to your spiritual gifts, all of these things. So make sure, and community, people that will love you, and then areas where you can practice, because that is so important. Some people really, really, really need practice. I'm one of those people that don't really, really need a lot of practice, not in this arena, but in other areas, yes. And so you need that, and that will be open for you, as well as you get to be in my energy. Once a month, we do Zoom calls, possibly maybe another time in the month, because I'm thinking about that as well. I'm really trying to put it together according to how I can help you and what it is that you need and require. So again, thank you so much for joining me. Make sure that you are following me on all the other platforms at Intuitive Tammy, including TikTok, Clapper, Favorited, Fan-Based. Instagram is Intuitive Tammy 56. Facebook is just Tammy Morrison. So I think Unleashing Your True Self is my page over there, but I don't go on it often. I don't do a lot of Facebook anymore, just a little bit here and there. I use it as a connecting tool. So Again, thank you so much for hanging out with me. It's been a blast. We'll do it again. Tomorrow, probably, I'll be on live. Yeah, I think tomorrow, sometime tomorrow, I'll be on. Today, I'm working in my house, trying to get everything in order, which is always fun, especially for those of us that it's not really in their skill set. However, it has to be done, then it has to be done. All right, so have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, night, weekend, or whatever it is for you. And I hope it's magical. And this is Tammy with the $1 Billion Voice signing out. I also am looking for sponsors for my podcast, Straight Out of Savannah. So if you are in a space where you can affect that type of change in my life, I would love to speak to someone about that. You can go into my About section and find all of my contact information and reach out to me, because I am definitely on the hunt. And I'm not saying the hunt, I'm in the space of allowing sponsors to find me for the podcast. And then also, if you have a small business and you would like to sponsor my podcast, I would love for you to reach out to me. And then again, if you are a spiritual entrepreneur and you would like to come on my show, I would love to have you. So that is another thing. So again, thank you for joining. Bye now.